All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Houston Texans. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Ready. 18 Gator. Double time. 40. Hey, echo. 40. Right 52. Go.
On 1st and 10, Gordon. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. So they get the completion. That's good, but Charles, probably not good to get hit on the first play of the game.
No coaching staff ever wants their quarterback hit on any passing play, especially to start the game. What you're hoping is you have one of those tough guys back there, that sometimes when they get hit early, gets the juices flowing, and they get right into the game.
Safety's creeping. Hey, rock it. Ready.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Hey.
This is Mostert. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
General West. Back. Hatchet. He's coming. Double up. Leo.
Now Mostert. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Check three. Go. Get it.
Looking to throw. Gordon. And he finds McLaurin. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal. And you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
Under press.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Raheem Mostert hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Watson. He completes it to Henry. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Watson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now Balazs. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Blitz coming, and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinter's blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
In on the stop, Bradley McDougald. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Put it on. I'm going 37's the mark. Off. We got to get the ball.
Back to throw, Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Samson Ebukam in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
He's coming.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 21.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Here's Mostert. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
To throw on 2nd down, Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
23 yards. First down, Jets.
Ready. 10-2, sir. Here we go. Rock it. Hit it.
Mostert. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
18 Gator. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, Sam off. 5.
Right back to him on first down. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check three. Shift. Hey, lock it. Keep gripping.
Now a handoff looking right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Come on, set. 90, Wolf. Let's go, defense. Here we go. Bang. Whip. Watch the whip. Alert 3. You draw Corker. Watch twist. Gone. Get it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They come out here in the eye. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Here I come. Check. Go. Check. Check 99. Look at me. Go on, now.
They run it with Balazs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Stop short of the goal line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 29, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to go down again. Samson Ebukam getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Here's the Bravo. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Right up.
Off the play fake. Gordon. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
First and goal, Jets.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Hey, Wahoo! 55, Mike 55. Go out.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Protein spill. Check. Crunch. 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 Shit. 36.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. And again this time to the tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that's going to bump up their lead now to 15-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
7 yards there and a first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Watson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Check 4, shift. Watch the ship, Hey. 80 weapons. Watch the ship. Get ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. I got him. Watch the safety creep.
Now they try the right side here. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Come on out here, come get some.
On third down, Gordon. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Got a man, Slayton. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. Got a man, it's Brown. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw. Man, I got you.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jets, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for Charleston...